and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca. Today I am working on my long-term project, which is Walking in the Rain from Diamond Art Studio UK. It is 192 colours. So I like to have a long-term project as well as whatever my current diamond painting project is. I love having the two. I'm just going to start dishing out some colours while I'm at it. So yeah, I like to have three different sort of diamond painting things on the go. I have my long-term project, which is this one, and it's going to be a heaven and earth design for my next one. Already got my next one sort of planned out, though I need to get the stuff for it, but yeah. And then I like to have a Paint Gem mini set. I currently have a set of 3 different ones, and they're all then mixed up, and I grab those if, say, I've done a couple of sections of whatever my main current project is and have a little bit more time to diamond paint, or maybe I want to diamond paint in an evening but I have less than an hour, then I might just grab a Paint Gem mini to do and sort of get that little fix of diamond painting. And then I have whatever my current more shorter term project is, which at the moment is on this last day. On the last day, it has been going on for a couple of months, but we did have June Waffle, which takes a lot of my time, and I've been packing Advent, which takes a lot of my time, and I've just not diamond painted as much as maybe I would have done at another time of year. But yeah, I like to have those sort of 3 on the go. This one can take months to complete. At the moment it's only getting completed in WIP and Waffles, but when I finish on the last day, I might then do some sections of this while waiting to kit up my next one. That's sort of the idea behind it, and my paint gems just slot in when they suit. But yeah, we are getting there with this one. Once we finish next week's, I will then get to put the last row of cover paper down, which is rather exciting. We've got a very confetti section this week, but I do want to apologise for Sunday's WIP and Waffle being late. It was one of those, I got it filmed. I can't remember if I filmed it in the evening on Friday, because we had a lot of plans on the Saturday. I think I did, because we had quite a few plans on the Saturday to do some jobs around the house, a little bit of rearranging. I also wanted to try and finish the quilt top for my daughter, because I tend to quilt at the weekend and diamond paint through the week. And I actually said to hubby after I'd done it, I was like, remind me tomorrow to, actually upload the video, because it was all taken and all sat on my memory card, and of course we both forgot. So it wasn't until somebody posted on Facebook when I'm in the very, very close to finishing Catherine's quilt top, and somebody said, is there no WIP and Waffle? And I'm like, there is. It's just sat on the memory card. So it always takes about an hour and a half to actually get the video edited and then uploaded, and all the sort of sorting out on YouTube it needs to do. So apologies that Sunday's was late. Hopefully I'll have this one up on time. No, I should. I filmed yesterday's video that you would have seen, and then today's video, well, that you're seeing today. I filmed them both because I'm actually filming them Tuesday night. So that means I'm probably not going to get any diamond painting done tonight. because tomorrow I actually have a hairdresser's appointment tomorrow. It was supposed to be last week, or maybe the week before, on a Wednesday evening. And then there was this whole threat of riots, and our town was included. Yeah, this whole nationwide, they said X number of places have got riots planned and all this, that and the other. And turns out it was all baloney and nothing happened at all. But of course, due to the potential at the time risk, yeah, my hairdressing appointment got moved to a daytime, which I'm not liking. I feel like it's completely rocked my week. I lose pretty much a whole day in my week for getting stuff done. But anyway, it's all good. I am filming this on Tuesday evening to make sure that they are ready and scheduled for the right times. And yeah, it's fun anyway to chat with you all. Oh, another thing I have done this week, YouTube sort of pushed me pretty much. I mean, it wasn't a hard shove, but it was a shove to create a membership option for people. So I have created one. It's sort of a very, very low price tiered membership. I've only included one at the moment, one tier. I say a low price tier, and it will just give you access to my videos earlier. So if that's something you are interested in, great. If it's not something you're interested in, then videos will come up as usual. The only difference is for members, they will be available as soon as I upload them and have them all edited and ready, unless it's a brand that wants it on a particular day. So any others will basically be available for you early. And the rest of you will see it on the usual day. So just so you know that that has appeared. I don't have any plans to add any tiers or any membership only type perks. I may say if people are members when I read out comments, but at the moment I have no plans on, you know, anything extra videos or extra this, that or the other. So if you can't afford it, then by all means you can still see them when you want. But if you are somebody that wants to, that enjoys the fact of spending $2.99, say I did keep it low, just to be able to watch videos a little bit earlier, depending on when I film them, then that option is there for you. If that ever changes, if I am ever able to dedicate more time to YouTube or restructure anything, I will let you know. But yeah. So, comments, etc. So I'm going to comments from the video from last week, or the walking in the rain comments first. And then if I haven't waffled too much, I will go back to comments from June Waffle that I'm still catching up on, and will be for the foreseeable, I think. I think that's just the way it's going to work. But Aaliyah, she says she's watching last Thursday's WIP and Waffle. She was watching on her birthday. She said it's the same day it went up. Well, I hope you had an amazing birthday and got everything that you wanted. And thank you to everyone that has wished her a happy birthday under her post as well. So, yes, thank you to all of you for the support you show for others as well. It is greatly appreciated. Okay, all my symbols that are either red, yellow or blue have been done. So now I just have a gazillion symbols that are black, and I have 2 full trays. So let's move those over. And then let's just start here. see how many I missed today. The cat lady, she said, hi Rebecca. She said she thought she would pop on today as she's taken a day away from sorting and packing. So the cat lady is currently in the process of moving, which I don't envy you that task. There is part of me that would love to do it, just because there's nothing like a good sort out and a nice fresh space. But the thought of having to pack everything up and move out on one day just scares me silly. I would much rather there be some way of buying and then selling later. Just the thought, yeah. But of course it doesn't work that way, but it would be ideal if you could sort of have a little bit of a gap between the two and not have to move so quick. Remember when me and Will moved from the first place we ever lived? It was this maisonette. It's like a house on top of a house. So we had 2 stories, but we were upstairs. Absolutely loved it, but like we had a week to sort of move into this house, had a week overlap, and it made it so much better. But the thought of having to move everything on one day scares me silly. Anyway, so she's still working up at the library on Thursdays. She says, but next week, the 22nd, so the day you're watching this, she says will be her final day. She says she's still waiting for a completion date. She says, so it looks, at the minute, it looks like they will be moving mid-September. Not clear on what's holding things up. She said as they were told they'd be moving this month, 2 weeks ago. So now they're in limbo. That is the worst part. The UK sort of buying, selling process is pants. Absolute pants. I will say it needs a complete overhaul, I think. But how that would be done and how would be best to do that, I have no idea. But it does need it. It does need somebody to be able to say, this isn't working, and find a way to fix it. She says she wants to get a nice Christmassy diamond painting to do for Christmas, but she says she can't order anything at the moment because she can't guarantee being there for delivery, which is also another thing. It just throws you into total limbo. I know you said your sons were still going to visit you for your husband's birthday. Is that something that they could be responsible for bringing if it was delivered to them? Maybe that's an idea. Get it delivered to them and then get them to bring it when they come. Could be dangerous if it got forgotten, but throwing it out there as a little suggestion. Right, what do I want next? See, I'm half and half now, whether I should continue doing the colours that are sort of this way or whether I should continue doing my strip across. But I'm going to continue doing my strip across. So I want my H that looks like an I from this angle. Julia, she said she started her diamond painting journey on Christmas of 2018 and finished her first diamond painting on January the 25th of 2019. She says she has completed about 58 diamond paintings in all different sizes since the beginning of her journey. She said she's so happy when I post as she can diamond paint alongside me and she can race to complete her section on time with me. I love it. I love how I do the same thing. It's like the other person doesn't need to necessarily even know that they are in a competition with me or they're in a race. It's just fun to put them in the race. And yeah, just go ahead with it. Hang on, I've got a hair that is floating around. There we go. Yeah, sometimes it's just nice to race along with someone, whether they know they're racing or not. So yes, feel free to race along with me on this section. I have no idea how big your section is. Of course, I'll have completed this well before you've completed yours. But yeah, it definitely does make it fun, though. It's just another little twist on things, isn't it? And sometimes, as much as we all enjoy diamond painting and we enjoy the sort of repetitiveness of it and the calming aspect of it, sometimes it can be fun to just throw something in there to make it a little bit different. I did a few paint gem minis the other night. I started just doing one or two, and it sort of grew from there. And yeah, I think I ended up completing each one sort of a different way. So some of them I started from like this bottom corner and working my way. And then another, I might start in the bottom corner, but then do all colours in that item. So like if it was one of my national parks, if it started with green, I'd then do all the greens and then I'd move to a different colour and then do all of those shades of colour. And then another time I did it through the symbols, in order of the symbols. So started at A and worked my way through. And I just like changing it up like that, making it a bit different. Julia also says, thank you for all the lovely videos. Oh, you're so welcome. I wish I actually had time to do more. To be honest, I have quite a few ideas that I'd love to be able to put into practice. But just the week seems to disappear on me all the time. I've always got these ideas, it's just getting them into practice. Blossom Chops, she says she is still struggling through de-kitting 2 sets of paint gem minis because her 11 item Amazon order, which is a start on some Christmas shopping, arrived in the middle of it. And she said, of course, I got distracted. You're bound to get distracted, especially when it comes to de-kitting. Like in general, I enjoy de-kitting, but I wouldn't say it is not up there with my top favourite thing to do. It's nice to be able to sort of box it all off and say it's completed. And I partly get driven by the fact that I can get excited about whatever the next one I'm going to kit up in replacement of it is. But yeah, I much prefer a kitting up. I think a kitting up would be harder to be distracted from. Whereas I could get distracted from de-kitting. Summertime says, greetings Rebecca. She says, long time no see. She says she just realised this morning that YouTube had unsubscribed her. She says, but she's glad to be back and catching up on the videos that she's missed. YouTube can do funny things at some point. I think I have a few people that have said they've sort of been unsubscribed without realising, which is kind of annoying, to be fair, but there's not much I can do about it, apart from do say, if you are watching now, just check that you are still subscribed. If you tend to watch my videos as they always come out and don't tend to have a week, where life gets in the way and you don't go on YouTube, then you might not have spotted if they've unsubscribed you in the same way, because you'd still show up in the recommend, or I'd still show up in the recommended. But if you are someone, for example, like me, who can watch, you know, people religiously for a while and then just have a busy week where I just don't get the same YouTube time because I'm not doing the same sort of, mainly it's because I'm not doing the same sort of stuff in the shop that I can watch YouTube at the same time as. Then yeah, it can sort of change what it recommends to you based on whether you're subscribed or not. So welcome back anyway, summertime. Lady Dax, she says there is going to be a little bit of a delay to the start of their kitchen works. She says they're referring me for an OT assessment, as she may be entitled to some added alterations than a standard council kitchen. She says fingers crossed. Ooh, sounds like extra bits are always good. Extra bits are always fun. This is that symbol that I am going to miss. I'm going to end up missing one of. Because it is well and truly scattered. We'll see how we go. She says, much loves to you and my fellow Zesties. Well, hopefully the outcome is what you want and you get your extra bits, because then the delay will be worth it. It's only if you don't then get them that the delay is, of course, not worth it and just gets frustrating. Vibe Keros Landolson. Wow, love that username, but I don't know if I'm going to have to just go Vibe as a shortened version. Because I've probably hashed how I've said that anyway. But she says, hello Rebecca. She is new to this fantastic craft and really loving it, which is so good. It is such a fun craft to do, whether you get to do loads or just a little bit. It is great for switching off too. She says, they say they are, oh, it's Vibke. Try and remember that. Vibke Ross Landolson. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be said. Sorry. They said they are new to my channel. And they must say they love to watch while they're diamond painting. It's because I get to keep you company with my ramblings. So it's been on the website and will definitely order once money allows them to have a little splurge. Since they're new to this, they are only doing smaller canvases. The biggest one they've done is a 30 by 40. Always good to start small, unless you are one of those people that wants the huge challenge. And then it can be nice to mix them up a bit. They're hoping when they have more space to try a bigger one, and said that will be a party. All the best, Vibke from Norway. Well, hello and welcome to the Zesty crew from Norway. And yeah, I'm sure you will get to bigger ones at some point. There are so many 30 by 40s that quite frankly are, one, adorable, and second, you will just get quicker and quicker getting a 30 by 40 done. But at the beginning, you know, they will take you longer than, say, I can get one done in a week now, a 30 by 40, especially if it's a round one. I can get them done fairly quickly, 2-3 evenings, and it's finished. But I have got pretty quick at diamond painting over the years. But yeah, it's good to know that the craft will grow with you. So as you get quicker, as you want to do more and more diamond paintings, there are more and more options out there for you to do, loads more. Corinne said, hi guys. Oh, she's having a bad fibro day. She said her arthritis is acting up, so she is exhausted. She said she can't even concentrate enough to diamond paint, which is exhaustion. I get that. because I get that myself. Not for the same reasons, just days catching up with me. But yeah, so she's watching on her telly from her bed, but she is making DMC stickers at the same time. So you're still being productive. She said her Advent arrived last week and went straight into her aunt's room, so she doesn't get to look at it. There are a few that have nosied, that's for sure. She said her foot is feeling a lot better, and her doctor has said she can start to exercise on it, but half the time she said she still can't fit it in her shoe. She hopes everybody is doing good and enjoying whatever craft they're doing. Yes, because we're all a crafty bunch. There's quite a few people that do a few different crafts alongside diamond painting. And there's some that just do diamond painting. You've got to do what works for you and what brings you that joy. Brandy says she has just received her first Advent calendar. She said it's packed away until December. Listen to all these good people. She says she loves watching my videos. She says thank you for all that you do for the community. Love from upstate New York. Loved New York when we went. Loved the hustle and the bustle and the, yeah. And I'm currently reading the J.D. Robb books, which are based in New York as well. And I keep trying to picture it, but it's been quite a few years since we've been, so it's not the easiest thing to do. Right, have I got all of them? I think I have. But yeah, quite a few Advent calendars are turning up. We'll be packing some more again into their boxes later on this week, ready for the next sort of batch to go out. I actually sent a few more out today. We sort of started trickling into the pre-orders that were placed in August. We started trickling into some of those and getting some of those out because I want them to arrive with you guys in plenty of time. I don't want anybody wondering whether it's going to arrive in time for them. Even though they're arriving plenty early, hopefully it'll give you all time to tuck it away and rub it out a little bit until it comes time to start opening them. Busy Lizzie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, have you seen Dreamer Designs have ship overseas kits that are snack size? She says they're around 40 by 40 or 40 by 50 kits. She says she has ordered and received 2. Purchase 4 more, she says, as the designs are cute. She said the shipping is only £8 for the UK, which is cheaper, she says, than from their own warehouse. She says she highly recommends so far. She says also, she says, weren't you meant to unbox Cozy Cabin from Diamond Art Club? She says, or am I mistaken? Yes, I do have Cozy Cabin from Diamond Art Club. I think, if I remember right, let me just have a quick look. Because of the unboxings that I've had, I try to sort of spread them out a little bit. So I did have an Aura Lower painting that I needed to unbox this month. And I'd unboxed some paint gems the sort of week before and with fan cells. So it's actually down. It's actually down for me to unbox next week. There is actually 2 unboxing videos, but I do have 5 videos rather than the 4 that I tend to be doing during crazy Advent season. So yeah, because I do feel like it's been a while since it's arrived. So yeah, I do have it down for next week. So yeah, so it is coming. I do have Cozy Cabin, and I will be doing an unboxing on that soon. I may have a look at those Dreamer designs, though really I am trying to get through some of my stash, but I guess a lot of people will completely understand where I'm going with the fact that it's not going too well. I am trying to be very conscious about what I do buy, but I also do want to be able to showcase different things because, of course, I'm a YouTube channel and people want to be able to see different things that they can get. But yeah, I'm really trying not to end up buying too many diamond paintings. Though some are gifted to me, but even so, I'm still trying to make sure that my stash doesn't grow too big, and if need be, I am stashing some away, and I'll have another giveaway during Advent. During December Advent, I'll do another giveaway, and I might have another go through my stash and see if there is any in my stash that I am willing to pass on. And yeah, other than that, I just need to find more time to diamond paint. I mean, I'm a quick diamond painter, but not quick enough for some of them. So yeah, I'll have a look at them, but I think I'm going to try to resist getting them, though we'll see. We'll see. If they're as cute as you say, it might be a different matter. She also says, to the person who said water will help with the glue dot, she says, wouldn't that make it less sticky? I think that's the idea. So with the glue dot, if you put water on it, it will make it less sticky, though when the water evaporates and dries out a little bit, it will bring a little bit of the sticky back. So it may be something that helps with that. A bit like if you get paper or something stuck to your canvas, you can use like a baby wipe or some lint-free cloth with water to sort of get the paper off, and your background then, once it dries, will become stickier. So maybe it's that sort of concept. Bazingirl Crafts. Oh, sorry, let me just switch over because I need to find this symbol. She says, hi Zesties. She says she is loving this diamond painting. She says, Rebecca, she says, you are a true godsend. Ooh, I'll take that title. She says she's been struggling lately with a lot of stress. She says she had her heart scan, which the results were excellent. That's good to hear. Oh, she says, but her husband hasn't received as good a news. He had his heart scan and they found that it is only pumping at 40%. He is in heart failure, and they're going to find out if it's congestive or hereditary. He has been having massive headaches, and he goes to a headache specialist on Monday, and they get the results from his heart test on Tuesday. So you'd have got them today. Hopefully they give you all the answers that you want, but you've caught it, so there's a chance that things can be done. She said he's hardly eating because he doesn't have an appetite, and he's not even 50 yet. She said any positive thoughts that can be thrown our way would be received with open arms. She says, thank you so much. She said, sorry this was long. She said she's just at a loss right now, which I completely understand. So you don't need to apologise for your comments and all the rest of it. I am wishing you and hubby the best. These stressful times are hard on you, hard on hubby. You're probably both trying to be supportive of each other. You're probably too busy both trying to think of each other, and not causing more stress to the other one, possibly to a detriment for yourself. So talk to your hubby, stay together, like chatting, talking, you know, in depth and not in depth as well. And yeah, I hope the results that you'll have got this last week are the ones that you're hoping for, which is something can be done. Because once you've got answers and once you know something can be done, then yeah, you just ride that wave and get through it together. But yeah, keep an eye out for each other. Nellie, she says, hi Rebecca. She said she is now diamond painting. She says the home has made a craft room. So the residents who want to can craft. She says, and she loves it. She says she has done a lot since it was made. That is amazing news, Nellie, because I know you were struggling with where to be able to diamond paint. And being able to do crafts is so therapeutic. We've actually recently gifted a few diamond paintings to some of the care homes that my husband visits. He fixes medical equipment, so he goes fixing medical equipment, and yeah, we've recently gifted some to there, to a few different homes in the area, and apparently it has gone down absolutely fantastic. Well, it's gone fantastic with them all, but especially one lady who was in their care home and was wanting to diamond paint and had been asking about diamond painting, and like the nurses and the carers just didn't know enough to be able to help and were trying to figure it out for her. But of course, when you don't know the craft, it takes time. So I said I was going to sort out an extra little goodie bag for that lady so that she can keep herself going with her craft, because anybody that loves it, I am all for ensuring that they can keep doing it. So yeah, the fact that they have now got a craft room is awesome news. Julia, she says, second comment for me. She says her phone decided to permanently die on her later Thursday afternoon. She says so she went to Verizon. I think that's how you say it. It's an American carrier as far as I know. She said she went to Verizon and made the decision to switch from Android to iPhone. She says she got the 15 and, oh, that's concaved. And so far, she said she is loving it. I am well and truly an iPhone lover. Absolutely love my iPhone. I've had one since 3GS, I think, was my first one. But yeah, I will always use iPhone, I think. She said she had to come back today, Friday, and re-watch the video, she said, on her new phone. I like that, on your new phone. She says because the audio, she says, and video quality are so much better. She says she loves the videos even more now. Awesome news. I always try and make sure that I film and upload. There's a few different ways that I can sort of export videos from the software that I use. And I always try and make sure that I do the highest quality, so that if you are watching it on a TV or something that can cope with the better quality, you get the best that you can. So it's nice to know that it has crossed over and you are seeing the better quality on your new phone, because it just makes a new phone all a bit nicer, doesn't it? The only thing with iPhones, and I love iPhones and I still wouldn't change iPhones, but the only thing with iPhones, which is both a plus and a minus, probably more of a plus, is the fact that when you transfer from one iPhone to another, you can basically copy all your information across. Dead easy. Perfect. Which I absolutely love. But you don't get that same new phone sort out feeling, because it just transfers everything over just like your old phone was. Like everything in exactly the same place. That's probably the only downside, but in turn it's not a downside. It's a plus. Though I think last time I did have a little bit of a revamp and a sort out myself after everything had transferred over, just so I'd feel like it was a new phone. Liv, she says, hi Zesties. She says, in reply to Mysterious Day's comment regarding pools, swimming pools outside in Florida, she says they stayed in a villa each time they went. She says, and there was a pool in each one. She says now she knows why. She says because the weather can get so overbearingly hot. She says she loved going for a dip whenever they came back from being out. She used to go on in the morning too if they were having a chill day. She says she just loved Florida. The general way of life, she said, is so different. Oh, she says, and the food portions are massive. She also said she loved going to the parks too. She said she once got caught in a downpour while she was on a ride. She says she got soaked right down to her knickers. She says, but it didn't last long before the sun arrived. I've seen that. I follow somebody on Instagram who lives in Florida. And yeah, I've seen some of like when she's put footage up showing the downpours. But yeah, she has a pool too, which sounds like it's not surprising. Carrie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, another great waffle. She said she had her first physical therapy appointment. Okay, I've managed to pick up like 4 diamonds on a single placer. How on earth did I manage that? Anyway, sorry. She said she's had her first physical therapy appointment today. She says, but her scooter tripped over beforehand. Oh, and she fell on her surgical leg again. Get yourself on the couch, Carrie. She said, so it's pretty sore today. She is icing it a lot. She also has exercises to work on until her appointment next Friday. Well, I hope you can work on those from the sat down position, because by the sounds of it, you need to stay there. She says she's decided on her next diamond painting. The diamond painting she's going to do when she is fully healed from surgery and she doesn't have to elevate her foot all the time. She says she has a cabin scene one that she's going to give to her therapist. Oh, that's nice. She says she also has a wood burning birth announcement sign. Ah, I know what you mean, where you use the sort of pen thing to burn into the wood. Okay, I sort of get it. But she has one of those to do for her cousin after the birth of her baby on July the 12th. Congratulations to the new little one. She says she's also planning a wood burning project for Christmas gifts this year too. See, we do many different hobbies. Wood burning wasn't one that entered my head, but it is one that enters my head now. So she's going to do some for Christmas gifts this year. She's very much looking forward to be able to sit upright. Excuse me. To be able to sit upright, put her foot down and do her crafts again. She says, hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Well, you make sure that you stay sat for a while so you don't cause any more injuries to your poor self. And then you might be able to get away with sitting up a little bit more. Matthews Callan says, hey, thank you so much for the WIP and Waffle walking in the rain. They worked on their skeleton. Sorry, just checking I've got all them. Worked on their skeleton 50 by 100 centimetres. That's a fairly chunky one. So they've loved it. And they shall put a photo in the group if they have time. They love the painting so much. Shalom and thank you. Well, thank you so much for being here. Sorry. Right. Trying to make sure that I don't miss one, but I had to get that one over there on its own because it was driving me batty. Oh, do we have any more? We don't. Okay. That is all the comments from last week's up to, of course, when I'm filming it. I don't think I've missed any others, but I do keep seeing some in here. Of course, from June Waffle. There's some that are from June Waffle that have been posted well after June. And I think there's even one from, I don't know if it was from last year's June Waffle or last year's Advent as well, coming up in these comments sort of scattered throughout. But we're currently on the 27th of June, and diamond painting with the Edwards. She says, Megan sounds like herself. She says, a fellow zesty sister in chaos. She says she doesn't see the other mess. She jumps on her list of chores and just goes full steam ahead. She says hot weather stinks. She says muggy is even worse, which is so true. She says they have hot and muggy where they are. She said it feels like walking through pea soup some days. I love that phrase. She says, get you a glass of something cool and enjoy it anywhere you can find a breeze. Yeah, I can't quite believe the weather that we had in June compared to what we have now in August. So today, as I'm filming this, was supposed to be no rain. Cloudy, it's about 18, 19 degrees, so not the warmest. But, you know, a washing day. And what, of course, happens right when my load that's going out is nearly dry? It throws it down. But what it decided to do for this rain was just rain enough to make everywhere wet and then stop. Gotta love a British summer. Kathy says, hi. She says, the quilt is gorgeous. She says, wow, I love it. Thank you. I've just finished the quilt top that Catherine wants, the rainbow one that she wants. So I've told her it's more of a weekend project. I actually have a bit more time than I thought I did to do it. I actually thought she wanted it in the I thought she wanted it in the next week or two, but I actually have about a month or just under a month before she'd ideally like to take it with her to uni. She says so that she doesn't forget to pick it up later, which I don't think she would do. But anyway, I get it. She'd love to have it when she moves in. So next weekend, I think I am going to try and get my quilt sandwiches together for both Catherine's quilt and the rainbow block quilts, because I'm using the same sort of colours on both, and I'm using the same thread to quilt both, which is actually a rainbow thread. So I think, and I'm actually using the same binding on both. So I think I'm going to try and get my quilt sandwich done next weekend if I can, and then hopefully I have a couple of like smaller pieces that we did during our lessons. So I think I'm going to have a little bit of a practice with some stitches, and then maybe try and quilt the rainbow quilt that I've shown in a video before I then do Catherine's quilt. So give myself a little bit of a practice one, while that one hasn't particularly got a place or a person it's going to. But we'll see how it goes. Pinky, she says, thank you for another great waffle and chat. She's still finding the strength, she says, to do another diamond painting. One, because it's hot and muggy. Story of our lives back in June, was it not? She says, considering she's in the south coast. I think everywhere just went hot and muggy at some point over June. She says too, she says this head doesn't help. She says, oh, because she had a migraine attack. She says, but what it makes it worse for her, she says, is she gets an aura with the migraine. So she always gets buried vision, sometimes numbness, down one arm, including her hands, and feeling sickly. Oh, sounds horrid. She says, but she tries to live a normal life like any other day. She says, and sometimes she can go for months without one. She says she hopes that me and the family are all well in the heat and doing what makes you happy. Yes, we are all good. There may have been a few more days that were nowhere near as productive as they would have been if it wasn't for the heat, but you've just got to go with the flow a little bit, have you not? Right, equal sign, that one. Marsha, she says they've had a week of triple digit temperatures, she says, and the humidity factor, she says, she calls it eyeball melting. That's another good one. Walking through pea soup with our eyeballs melting. She says it's miserable. She says their air conditioner is struggling to keep up. Well, I hope everything has got nicer for everybody. Ideally a bit nicer than the UK at the moment. But to be honest, I think I'd still take these cloudy, occasionally drizzle days over too much heat that I can't get anything done. I've actually had quite a productive day today, so it's been rather good. Right, what am I looking for? My ex, it's there. Mysterious Days, she says, in the US, she says they tend to have 4 primary levels of school. She says one of which is optional. So ages 1 to 4, she says, is preschool. Which for ours would be sort of nursery. 1 to 4 is nursery, well, that's what we call it. Sometimes that can be paid nursery. I think they only get like free nursery sessions for like half a day at around age 3 or 4. I think it can depend on area, and I know it's changed since mine were children. But when mine were a lot younger, sort of age 3 to 4, they used to have either mornings or afternoons at nursery. And then they have age 5 to 11 is elementary. So that sounds, our age 5 to 11, well, actually 4 to 11 is infants and then junior school. So there's an infant section and a junior section, but they tend to be within the same school. So it's called primary school. And reception is age 4/5, but then it does go up to 11. Then they have 12 to 15 is middle school, and 15 to 18 is high school, she says, roughly. So ours tends to be age 11, you go into high school, what we call high school, grammar school, depending on which one you go. And you stay there until you are 16. So ours, you're there till you're 16. In our high school, we don't have a middle school. And then for our after 16, 16 to 18 tends to be college. It used to be that you could leave school at 16 and that was it, you were done. Now you either have to go to college or you have to do an apprenticeship, which is more like an apprenticeship electrician, for example. So it's more your hands-on things, but you're doing training with it. And you now have to do that until you're 18, or go to college, one or the other. Depends on whether you're more of a physical learner or whether you're more of a hands-on or not. I've just realised I've just put one down in the wrong place. And then we have uni from 18 to like 21 or older. So some people will skip a year. They'll skip and start uni a bit later. So yeah, she said the South starts and ends sooner than the North. She says in the South, school tends to run from August, September to May/June. And in the North, schools tend to run from September to June, July. So we're more like the North there. We run from September to July. She says, depending on how much snow has caused them to miss days of school. Well, if we have a snow day here, then that's it. It doesn't change the term dates. They just have to try and squeeze more in to whatever time they've got left. She says, anyway, she says today she is catching up on 2 waffles because yesterday, she says, was busy with recovering from being overloaded by heat and the exhaustion from it. Sounds like a bit of heat stroke. She says in the cool time, she says she has spent time cleaning, breaking down boxes, she says, which has now been hauled off. And they found most of their garage again. Woohoo! She says tomorrow she needs to go to the hospital with her mum for her doctor's appointments. Which sounds like no fun, she says, in this heat, but oh well. Hopefully they had nice aircon. She says it's a good thing her hair is short, so it's off her neck. Yes, you're one of those people that cuts it short in the summer and lets it grow in the winter. Try and keep you as cool as possible. Brianne. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I've got a single one here. Let me just get this single one in and then I can get one of these ones that I need a bit more for. If I could actually place it in there properly. And then I want this one. So hi Rebecca. Brianne says, hi Rebecca. She says, you gave me a good laugh. She says she was finishing up the video for the 24th. She said a little bit ago. She says, and you commented on how your hands were damp because it had been so hot there this week. She says, and now on this video, which was the 25th, said you weren't even doing your laundry because of this heat. Which is true. It's just too hot to flipping move. And you said it was going to get up to 26 degrees Celsius, which in the UK is horrid. She says, well, she just did a calculation. She says that's about 79 degrees Fahrenheit. She says after about 3 weeks of 34 to 36 degrees Celsius, she says today it feels wonderful. She says with a high of 27 degrees Celsius. Your heat is different. I'm sure it is. That or us Brits are just wimps. Could be either. She says they had a bit of a storm bring in a nice cold front. She says, of course, she says it is going back up a little in the next few days. She says July/August, she says, tends to be their hottest months. So she's thankful for today, she says, and having a good laugh at you Brits thinking 79 is too hot to function. I bet I could function where you are at 79, because 79 here is completely different. She says she is in the Midwest in Indiana. She says so they don't get as bad or for as long as the South does. She says, but she's not a fan of summer, except for a little veggie garden. She says otherwise you will find her soaking in the air conditioning. Oh, there you go. That's made it different already. She says, so she does get my hesitation. She says to not do too much when it's hot. She says she's just amused by how our climates make our bodies perceive things differently. She says she hopes things get back to a comfortable temperature. Yes, things did get better. Though, yeah, UK heat is different to other heat, that's for sure. And actually being outside in the shade, so at least covered so you don't burn, is actually makes the weather a lot more bearable than being inside, because our homes are primarily made to keep the heat in, because the bulk of our weather is cold. But yeah, they're not set up with aircon and stuff, because who needs aircon for the 5 days a year that we have heat? Other than that, we have nice weather, and it's a lot nicer and a lot easier to deal with. And I'm now looking for a colour that I'm forever looking for. It is this sort of oval symbol that is, yeah, I have put it near the slashes and stuff, but I always think, where will I have put this? Will I have put it as a squash circle? Will I have put it as a slash mark? I always forget where I put it. Carrie, she says today's waffle is just what she needed. She says she's having a bad day. Oh, she said she suffers from PTSD from childhood trauma, abuse, etc. And she woke up in the night from a PTSD nightmare. Oh. She says, needless to say, she didn't get much sleep after that, which is not surprising at all. She says she does take 2 lots of medication to help control it. She says, but sometimes she gets breakthroughs. She says then she's had a really bad upset stomach, nausea, along with a massive migraine, which is not surprising if you've had all that going on. She says, so thank you for the waffle to keep me company and give me a shining light in this grey day. Well, I hope these waffles do help you going forward as much as possible, and don't forget to take care of yourself. And when you have had a night like that, give yourself a lot of grace, because yeah, things like that, especially when they happen at night, especially when you're tired, just can completely derail you, which I get. Lady Dax, she says, this is a bit of a long comment. She says they had a bit of a day today. She said P. Jelly had an appointment at the breast clinic. She said she is fine with her sharing with me and the zesties. She says it might help others. But she had a scan and they have confirmed that it is a cyst, and asked if they could drain it for her. And she said, yeah, sure, which means she's a lot braver than she would have been. She then asked if she can video it. They said no, so she wasn't happy about that. She said, anyway, she said after the procedure, she said for anyone needing to go through it, she said it is not as bad or as uncomfortable as having a blood test. She said next stop is her going to the fracture clinic on Monday to get her thumb re-x-rayed. Oh, and she's pleased you're using her pen again. She says, love from one very relieved mum. I am not surprised you're relieved, but well done for you, P Jelly, because if they'd have said that to me as well, it would have been very much a toss-up as to whether I would have said yes or no at the time. But I know if I'd have had to book an appointment for it later, it probably very much would have been a no, I don't want to. So yeah, well done on you. But good to know that if you ever have to have a cyst drained, it is not as bad or uncomfortable as having a blood test, which is fine because I did have one of those the other week and was completely fine with that. So good to know. Both of you make sure that you take care of each other. I know this was what is now a couple of months ago, but still make sure you take care of each other. Right, I am done for today's section. So thank you all so much for bearing with me while I waffle my way through this. Look after each other, look after yourself, I think is the message from today. And enjoy those crafts, whatever they may be. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.